Welcome to Pipin' Hot, where the takes are hot and the boys are not. Today's take is
Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
What? The takes are hot, the boys are not. Welcome to Pipin' Hot. And today, we have a very special guest, because we got the voice of the pod on the pod.
Yes, sir.
We've got Maria. Welcome, Maria.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
This is the person who does our intro, very graciously, which I've now had to edit like 6 different times because my hard drive crashed. I didn't tell you this. My hard drive just went kaput. Like, it doesn't work anymore.
Wait, do you have like a lot of stuff on there?
Nothing like too bad. It was mainly like episodes of this, which we had already finished, and like an old project. And technically, there's a movie on there.
Ooh.
But it's in like
movie.
it's in a zip file that my friend emailed to me, so I have it.
Okay, so everything that you have on that hard drive is retraceable.
Yeah, it's just inconvenient because I now have to put this podcast on the SD card and
But
like bring that
I
to.
can give you. I might have an extra hard drive.
If you have an extra one, I'll borrow it until I get a new one because I need one.
Let me double check.
But don't do it.
Behind the scenes, Maria is carrying the podcast. She's done
I
the
think-
intro.
I think
she's now a
in front of
guest.
the
She's about to give you the
scenes,
storage. Maria is becoming the podcast.
Well, every editing question, I've been in the editing lab multiple times and just texted Maria, being like, "How do you fix this?"
And the thing is, most of the times I don't know the answer.
Generally speaking, though, it's because I just have some like dumb effect that I want to do that is probably unnecessary. But Maria's like editing
Gotta
wizard
put 'em in.
101.
Listen, I'm just like, have you tried restarting the computer?
Turn it on and off
Have
again.
you taken the hard drive and edited at another computer?
The other thing that I've noticed is the desktops at Temple have like no storage. Like, you can't put anything on the desktop.
I just put everything right on my hard drive.
I know, I've
Yeah.
tried to, but it like makes a little like and then just stops. And I was
That
like,
noise is the worst noise.
and I was like, great. But okay, we do have something that we have to talk about early on. We have to address to the fans.
We have to. It's been a long time
to
coming.
to the 4 fans. Actually, I think we have. Have you checked? I think we have 6 consistent listeners.
I saw 7 when I last checked. I saw 7
7?
unique.
Aw,
so
thanks,
shout
guys.
out. All of them were just like male users 18 to 22
Good.
on Spotify. So I think it's the boys and our dads.
It's the boys, my dad and Sophia.
Yep.
Also, reel in some more non-men energy.
We need
Nice.
some
We need
feminine-
that on the show for sure.
There's
But we do have a special announcement.
Yeah, okay. We gotta get
for this
the
episode.
announcement.
So basically,
yeah, go ahead.
I'll explain. I
want to
explain.
interrupt
So basically,
What
what we're doing
is
is we're changing the way we
literally fuck
we're changing
you.
the way we do peppers now. So basically, we're not gonna tell each other to eat peppers anymore.
You know what?
What
This
we're
is
gonna do.
my episode, and you really just upstaged me.
Yeah, actually, that was rude and sexist and mean.
Unbelievable. I'm in pain right now.
Yeah, that's called karma, bitch.
So basically, now it's a competition to see who can eat the most of their pepper in the episode.
That was a hard.
You can eat it whenever.
Bite.
I took about a third of it off
Jesus Christ.
in that bite.
Me and
So yeah,
Casey
we're
have
no longer gonna
freeze
tell each other
pops.
when to eat.
Oh, yeah,
we're just
have-
gonna eat whenever.
Did we show you this?
You
before
two
the
have,
episode?
like-
Yeah, we have freeze pops for this episode.
Yeah, y'all have freeze pops, so it's like
Cheers.
Oh,
nerfing the
That means
jalapeno.
I'm the dark side.
Aw.
I get to be Kylo.
Unbelievable. I have nothing. I have no water.
That just means you're ill.
No ice pop.
Yeah. Boy Scouts.
I'm getting bullied
Boy
by
Scouts,
the
be
guests.
prepared. You know the Boy Scouts symbol is the same as Hunger Games.
Oh, sick. I'm sure that's where they got it from.
Yeah, Katniss was
It's gotta
probably
be
a
the
Boy
same
Scout.
thing.
What do we think?
Katniss was a Boy Scout back in the day.
Sue the Hunger Games for that?
Oh, I have no idea. You think they sued Suzanne Collins? They might have.
Like, do you think the Boy Scouts were like?
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna say Boy Scouts v. Suzanne Collins.
Suzanne
That is who wrote the Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts of America v. Dale.
No.
Who's Dale?
Three Finger
Dale
Salute
Earnhardt
came up,
Jr..
though.
Three Finger Salute came up. It's just a pro-democracy salute.
Okay.
Okay,
Am
well,
I
so the
wrong?
Boy
Is
Scouts
it-
pro-democracy?
Are the Boy Scouts 2 fingers? Because this feels dirty and I don't like it.
No, it has to be
I think
3.
it's 3.
Right?
The Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts is just this. This is a very visual episode of the pod. Tune into our YouTube channel.
It really is.
Our YouTube channel has 4 subscribers, so whoever's
Yeah,
consistently
thank
listening,
you,
y'all
guys.
are lacking. Pipe and Hot Pot on YouTube. Yeah, but we're making it a competition. Comment down below what our punishment should be. Should it be a punishment or a reward for each episode? Like,
I think it's way more fun to have a punishment.
But you
I
already
think so.
recovered
Whoever.
from that jalapeno. That was like a really quick recovery.
Well, okay, so I gotta admit, like in my throat and like mouth, pretty much gone, but I can't feel my left arm right now.
Your left
and I
arm?
don't. Yeah, like I don't know if that's related or a separate issue,
you
but we're gonna
allergic?
see how this progresses through the episode. I do not feel my left arm right now, so we'll see how this goes.
Cameron
it's
goes
just
to
the
the
jalapeno,
hospital,
though.
not clickbait. Yeah, we should make it a
No,
punishment.
it's all good,
We gotta
though.
figure out what it's gonna be. Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
leave some ideas down below.
since you haven't done the jalapeno yet, it has a very high ceiling quickly, and then it dies down pretty fast. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
linger.
Eaten like jalapenos before.
Like,
Casey, are you
straight up.
mansplaining spicy
Yes,
foods
I
right
am
now?
mansplaining a
Wait,
jalapeno
no, is Casey
flavor.
mansplaining
to Maria.
spicy food to me. He's mansplaining a piece of produce, and I work in the
Wow.
produce department of Whole Foods Market.
That's true. That's true. You know,
So-
I'm gonna check my privilege. I'm gonna hang back. I'll take a bite.
Thank you.
I'm
Kate.
gonna
Yeah.
wait. I'm trying.
I think
I'm
you
not
should.
gonna let you win.
Oh, she's going into it now.
Oh.
All right, just want to hit immediately.
Really?
Mhm.
It was pretty good.
Maria
That's a
took a
good
much
kick level.
heartier bite than I did. Because I know my limits and I'm not tempting God. All right, explain your take. We got to get into the take.
Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
Give us some points.
Okay, let's just start off with the whole Michael Scott versus Leslie Knope.
Well, let's just start off with the fact that you have not reacted at all, which I'm finding very impressive.
Yeah, how did you just tanked it?
It wasn't that bad.
Really? Maybe
Hmm.
we're just like wimps.
Oh, I mean, was that ever in question
Yeah,
before this?
No, I buy that.
Jesus Christ.
Maria's just gonna eat the whole pepper up front and fucking annihilate us.
We introduced a new rule, and the first thing
And
that happens
Maria
is
said,
the guest
"Fuck your
blows us out of the
rules."
water and just wins on day
I think
one.
that's generally the amount that I eat on a normal episode. Like, Maria's
Yeah,
already
straight
eaten
up.
the amount that I eat.
Well, also,
That's
all the
unbelievable.
seeds are up here.
Okay.
I feel like this last
Oh.
bite is gonna kill me.
Yeah, I think mine's the same way, actually. But I interrupted you. Keep going.
Michael Scott versus Leslie Knope. In season, let me just say, I love The Office. It's a great show.
Okay.
Like, I have nothing against The Office, but Parks and Rec is objectively better. And Michael Scott in the first season, they really just make him. Do you guys curse in this?
Yeah.
He's such a
Sure.
douchebag. Like, and I know that's the point of his character, but in the first season, he is so unlikable. And I know they make him more likable, but I feel like Leslie Knope gives off the same, like, just like aloofness, but she's so much more likable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just like also I know that like the Scott, what's the episode where he
Scott's Tots.
Scott's Tots, like I know it's a classic episode, but I just like
I can't do cringe.
like I can do cringe, but that is just objectively like fucked up.
Yeah.
So Leslie Knope would never. Let's also get into like the Pam and Jim versus Andy and April thing.
Yep.
I think. Have you both watched Parks and Rec?
Yeah. Wait, you
I've only seen the pilot.
You
I've never
haven't.
seen any extended amount of
You've seen
Parks
The
and
Office,
Rec.
though,
I've
right?
seen four seasons of The Office,
Okay.
and I've seen the pilot for Parks and Rec. But I've never.
I
haven't
hate
done any more
you.
than that.
All right. Maria is the new host of Pipe and Hot.
Yeah, I think we just lost the pod.
I've only seen 4 seasons. I think we've seen about the same as The Office. I've only seen 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess spoilers for both shows, by the way. We should probably like preface
Yeah,
that that's
probably.
happening.
Right.
Yeah. So we've both seen like half of The Office, and
done.
Yeah, that's more than I've eaten on literally any episode.
Cameron, is
That's
this done?
unbelievable. Like, I mean, unless you want to eat the stem, I guess, but like, I would consider that done. I would be done
Yes,
there.
I won.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
All
still
right.
have to continue. Like, we have to compete.
We,
but I think Maria did
yeah,
win.
I mean, we're playing for second place here. I think next episode we both have to do a
Put down
punishment.
the
at this
goddamn
point.
pepper, Maria.
Anyway.
Should we have I think we should have a Hall of Fame.
Okay, that was
Sure.
a record.
Yeah, fastest
That was
time
fast.
for
That's
sure.
the fastest
that
time
was
so far.
10 minutes and 43 seconds, and I think we started like a minute after starting
We were
recording. So 10
barely-
minutes, we'll
yeah.
call it 10.
But
Yeah,
also
that's by
record
and far the
for, like,
fastest.
starting jalapeno. Like, I started it, like, from when I started it to when I finished it.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was like 4 minutes probably.
Mm-hmm.
4 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna, in case you need this, I'm gonna put this over there for you.
Cool. I'm
Oh,
feeling
wow.
very emasculated
Wow.
right now, and it's very
Wow.
If you don't need it, I would still like the green one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna need it because I want us both to have them because they're good.
Okay. Sorry, anyway, so Jim and Pam, like, we like Jim and Pam, but they're only interesting when they're not together. Like,
Huh.
and then when they are together, they start to do this weird thing of, like, Jim is an asshole because he goes to Philadelphia and Pam falls in love with the lighting guy or the sound guy or whatever that is. And that is really weird. And obviously they end back up together. But, like, I feel like Andy and April are still really interesting after they get together.
Yeah.
Because they are such different energies, but they're just so chaotic together.
Right.
That they just become, like, partners in crime.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they're more interesting post.
I think so too, yeah.
Because I think I think what's nice about those two is that because it wasn't written from the get, like it was not planned, it feels much more natural. Like it
Mhm.
flows, and their character development goes along with each other, as opposed to like here's what we had written, and here was our idea for a set destination. Like it feels like that was actually like a natural flow into their final
For
character
sure.
through each other.
The Office feels grittier too. Like it feels much more like if you were to like walk into a workplace and it was like The Office, like I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, okay. But like if I walked in and saw it was like Parks and Rec, like it feels kind of not as realistic. Like it's
lighter.
too fun. Yeah, it's a lot more light. And I feel like that's one of the pros for a lot of people for The Office is that it's like not really I mean, it is sugar coated because there really isn't anyone like Dwight out there that I've ever seen. Like he's
True.
pretty over the top, but like for the most part, it seems pretty like based in reality.
I think my thing with The Office versus Parks and Rec, because okay, so this is an interesting episode because all of us agree, right? Like this is a hot take.
Oh
that
yeah,
I think
yeah,
all
yeah.
of us agree on. I think my biggest thing is that The Office doesn't have enough of emotional hook. Like every character in Parks and Rec has some sort of like emotional hook that's not really tied to any comedic relief. Like you care about something mature for each character. The only emotional into your show for The Office is Jim and Pam. Like there are characters that get together and they are supposed to have some like a bit more of a mature plot line that's not tied to comedy, but none of it works as well as Jim and Pam, and they are very clearly the emotional heartbeat of the show. Whereas like I would say that like Leslie is supposed to be the emotional heart of the show because she's the main character, and she is in a lot of cases. But like Andy and April are one instance of like that not happening, or like who
Even,
is
like,
it?
Oh my gosh.
Chris and
Ann
Perkins. Chris and Ann.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Um,
Chris.
Ann Perkins.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally.
He has a podcast now called Literally.
Oh, does he really?
Literally.
And
with
Rashida
Rob
Jones
Lowe.
has one with Bill Gates.
Really?
Yeah, Rashida Jones and Bill Gates have a podcast
Oh
together,
my god.
and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think that The Office. See, I'm of a different opinion that I don't really like The Office.
Okay.
And I think it's the emotional part of the show.
Yeah.
Like I think it's funny, but I also think that it's a personal preference of that I can't do like intense cringe. Parks and Rec has a solid amount of cringe, but at the end of the day, like it's heartfelt, it's cute. But I think The Office is like I've had so many bosses and managers that are just Michael Scott that I just find him insufferable.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like they try and redeem him at certain points, and I just find him like completely insufferable in every
Yeah.
capacity.
And like Leslie Knope still has those qualities, but just in a much still just like the not a great boss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess towards the end she becomes a much better boss, but she just still has the Michael Scott qualities, but just is a much better character.
Well, you don't get the sense that Michael Scott has the best of intentions. And I think what makes a good, like, flawed character is that they have good intentions, but just continue to
Which
fail.
is very much
And that's Leslie.
yeah.
In fact, that's pretty much everybody on the show. But I think that's nobody on the show, including Jim. I think Pam has good intentions for the most part. Jim doesn't always have the best intentions. He, like, harasses Dwight and I know it's a comedy. Like, I'm not going to try and overanalyze it, but
Sure.
I think they're all much more selfish than they are in Parks and Rec, which I think is part of it. But I don't know. That's just like I never could, like, once Jim and Pam got engaged, I checked out of the show.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, the two.
That was all we wanted.
Yeah, the will they won't they did, and now I'm bored.
Yeah.
Hey Cam,
Hey, Casey.
do you know what I hate?
No, what do you hate?
I hate when ads just start in the middle of a podcast and there's no segue into the ad.
It's the worst part of a podcast.
That being said, I do want to shout out our sponsor today, which is
Who's the sponsor?
actually this podcast.
We at the Pipe and Hot Pod would like to ask our listeners to do us a huge favor, and that is to like or subscribe or review this podcast to help us grow. The more engagement we have, the more growth we have, the better this show will be, and the more fun we're going to have recording it and giving it to you lovely people. It does us a huge favor, and all it takes is one click of a button. So please, if you really are enjoying this episode, we'd really appreciate it if you left a like and enjoy the rest of this episode.
If you enjoy the episode, boosting the engagement in some way or another helps us to spread the podcast around to people who wouldn't get to listen to it otherwise.
And if you're watching the video at home, leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel also helps us grow and bring better content to you folks at home. But more importantly, it allows us to have more fun here in the studio.
And most importantly, it really helps to feed our ego.
Yeah, my God complex is not quite godly enough yet. So help me boost my own God complex. Subscribe, like,
I'm at God-ish.
follow, share with your grandma.
I don't think people's grandmas would like this podcast.
If there's a grandma out there who likes this pod, let us know, because they got to be the only one.
Yeah, shout out all the grilfs out there.
More engagement, better content, piping hot.
Okay, so yeah, a good place to start right now is I feel like sitcoms are so specifically one point in your life. It's like this is what your life is right now. If you were to have a sitcom, what would it be? What would the setting be? Like, who would be your cast of characters? Do you have one? I feel like we can start with you. You're the guest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It would just be my life right now.
I was gonna say
feel
your
like
roommates.
I
Yeah.
have just the funniest relationship with my roommates. Like, we are like the Golden Girls, except we're only 22. Like, every night.
Who's who?
I don't
know the
really-
Golden
yeah,
Girls either.
Sorry. Like every night.
Should we eat the ice pops? They're starting to melt.
Yeah, we can eat them. Every night. Can you open mine while I talk?
Here, you talk.
Sorry,
Just grab the scissors. The audio people listening to this on audio are like, shut the fuck, or like, actually they're saying speak. They're saying stop.
Cameron's like, can you guys please be more professional?
Unbelievable.
I finished the pepper. I can do whatever I want. This is my show now.
That's true. She can.
Valid.
Thank you, King. Okay, so we just we have this little house in North Philadelphia that we pay $1,200 a month for. That's $300 each because it's a 4-bedroom house.
That's like my rent currently.
It's
Bruh, what?
It's a beautiful house, and we have lived there for 4 years. And we are so obsessed with each other and love each other so much to the point that we just never leave. And we just sit on the couch every night with our little blankets, and we eat our little candies, and we watch The Bachelor. And I know that does not sound entertaining at all, but I really just think the whole sitcom would be my shenanigans with my roommates.
You guys also bonded over a sitcom. So you guys, I feel like, already have that in your veins.
We bonded over Friends because when we moved in, we didn't really know each other. And everyone likes Friends, so we just would watch Friends together.
Friends is one of those shows that constantly goes through different bouts of like hate or love, and I feel like it's one of those shows that is adequately rated in my opinion. I do love Friends.
Yeah, it goes back and forth.
Have you
I
ever-
haven't seen Friends,
Yeah,
but
I-
JB started watching it earlier, so like I get the updates because Will has watched it all the way
Yeah,
through. Have you seen it all the way through?
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you have seen it, and JB's watching it right now. So like I'm kind of like learning bits and pieces here and there
Yep.
when you guys talk about it. But I never like went back and watched Friends all the way
What's
through.
your go-to like traditional sitcom then?
Honestly, probably like New Girl.
Is it really?
Like it's yeah. it
Over
has to
How I Met
be.
Your Mother?
For I think each like single episodes to just go back and watch are funnier in New Girl, in my opinion, than How I
Yeah.
Met Your Mother. Like How I Met Your Mother, I like that there's more of like a congruent story throughout the whole thing. But New Girl, I think like each episode is just funnier on its own. And I also just like the vibe of New Girl a little bit more. I feel like it would be more akin to like what a sitcom I would make would be. Like I would want a sitcom to be like, we've talked about this, but I don't know if we talked about this before on Pipe and Hot, but it would just be the boys' apartment.
The Boys'
Like it would just be
Apartment,
us
absolutely.
four kicking it. And I feel like we would be more similar to New Girl than How I Met Your Mother in like the dynamic and like the things we got up to.
Okay, this is a bit more personal, I guess. This is not really for like most people listening, but I've already pinpointed who our New Girl characters are. Actually, you guys will meet
Oh.
them next week. You'll meet everybody next week.
Yeah. Next
Um,
episode.
I think
I need to
that
catch
I
up.
think that you are. Damn it! I'm behind. I think you are. I gotta remember who's who. No, you're Schmidt.
Yes.
Um,
yes.
Will is Nick. I'm Winston, and JB is Jess. Those are the four.
I agree. I
You
agree.
gotta figure out who in your house is also that way.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Neve is. Hold on. Kat is Nick.
You know, hold on.
I think Kat is that. I think it
Hold
has the
on.
comedic sense of
I don't know
Nick.
if we balance out as New Girl. I would say it's hard because since Jess is a teacher and Neve is a teacher, I want to say that Neve is Jess.
I don't think Neve is
but
Jess.
she's not.
Oh, the cat could be Jess.
I kind of see Kat as like Schmidt, honestly.
Okay.
I think Kat is the most like.
You
I
good?
Don't know.
Fuck, dude, it came back.
I want
thought
to
made
finish
it.
this,
Oh my God.
and I want to use it for the jalapeno. So I think I'm gonna bite the part that's all seeds.
Oh wow. Oh. Dude, my whole body is hot. Whatever isn't sunburned is just burning from jalapeno right now.
So confused.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah. Maria's showing us all up.
That's hot.
Wait,
That's
where
hot.
would yours?
Oh, that's
Okay,
hot.
wait. Oh, you said boys. Boys apartment.
It would be the boys' apartment.
Where
Yeah.
where should we live?
Well, I think like for the sitcom LA, that makes most sense.
Yeah, sure.
But
So we're just New Girl for
Realistically,
sure. We're just absolutely.
we're just
New
100%
Girl.
New Girl. But like realistically, LA is expensive. So I feel like we'd stay around here because we know it.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit less expensive here than in LA.
Was your last bite the easiest?
They were all easy.
All right.
I just got so
I thought the seeds were gonna be really
disrespected.
bad, and that was the easiest bite.
Well, mine's got
Maria
so
is
many
upping the
seeds.
level of this podcast because I've never finished a jalapeno on an episode.
No, I've already gotten farther. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I've never gotten that far in an episode before. I'll show you
Maria's
guys
like
too.
testing our masculinity, and we're like, "Fuck, we can't back down
Am
now."
I the first woman on this?
Technically, yes.
That's why.
Sophia's
Yeah.
non-binary, so
Okay, well,
it's not been all men, is what we're saying.
okay. Okay. Alright. It's good to have a little non-men energy.
Which is
Once in a
true. I
while.
think that was our biggest thing of the, like setting this up is that it's just two dudes talking. Like it's just like every
Yeah,
other goddamn
every
podcast.
podcast.
Like,
Yeah.
and so we needed something to like set us apart, which is why we did the jalapeno thing. And like we're already being shown up by somebody else. So
Get back on track.
Did not take us
on
long.
what we're talking about. All right. My sitcom.
God.
since you already took boys' apartment, I've been talking about this with a few people. There's potential that like right after college, I might get an apartment in LA with like a few Temple kids. I already know I'm getting it with a few specific people. Like we've already planned on it, and then we might be like combining with another potential Temple house. And I think that would be really fun. It's a bunch of like fun production majors. Like not, I guess that's mean saying the production majors aren't fun, but like very hardworking and like really just like I don't know. None of us take ourselves too seriously. And we like all work on projects together. That's all I have because it's like not happened yet. Although technically like. We tried to make our high school experience a sitcom, so maybe I'll go that.
That does count.
We did.
Could do that.
We've never mentioned it on the pod, but I told you this, right? Mm-hmm. That like after we like fake wrote sophomore year as a show because one of our friends was like, let's make a good show, and it would not have made a good show. And then we stopped because we didn't all hang out all the time. And then, like, halfway through junior year, like, shit just started going. I feel like junior year is when, socially, things, like, start to blow up. That's, like, when alcohol was first introduced and, like, things were, like, starting to go, like, haywire with, like, relationships.
Everyone can drive, so, like, everyone can just see each other way more often, too.
You and I couldn't, but...
You and I couldn't. We were a little behind the curve on that, but most other people can.
And we didn't keep a diary, and so, like, we just, like, needed to process this somehow, so we just, like, started writing episodes again. And, like, so we have, like, a full account of our high school experience, like, written as, like, episodically. It's, like, very weird. And we would, like, write... My favorite part is that we would pick a song to end each episode, like, to be the credit song.
Can you give me an example?
Of the song? Yeah, our finale for... Because, the part that sold me on it is that Will came over and, like, pitched the finale of Season 4, and I was like, this is, like, good. But then I made the finale for Season 5, which happened at like our New Year's party, and there was like emotions were running high. There were some relationships happening. It was very intense.
One of the last times we hung out, Casey just gave me a deep dive into the boys.
Yeah,
good,
and just, like,
good, awesome.
Everything I needed to know about Casey and like, his high school experience.
Hormone ridden.
Like Casey was pulling up pictures, introducing everyone. And, like, giving me a whole synopsis on everything.
I hadn't done it in a while. It was a good little, like, nostalgia trip.
It's a good, it's a good recap.
The finale, like, takes place on New Year's Eve, and the final song is Mind Over Matter, Young Giant. So it's very cheesy.
Good Lord, I love it.
It has to be cheesy, though. It's a high school sitcom.
Our original finale song was going to be Congratulations by Post Malone. Because we, like, graduated on the finale. But then the show was called Free. We called it Free.
Okay.
Because it was like during our free block. And then on our graduation day, Kanye and Cudi dropped a song called Free. And we were like, this has to be the finale. Like, this is our finale song. So now, like, that's like now one of like the most important songs to me. Like, I adore that song.
It's a good song. It's a really good song.
But yeah, what were we talking about? That was my sitcom.
Your sitcom. That's your sitcom. Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on.
Easy.
Let's move on.
Light work.
I want to talk about another TV show since we want to like segue since Maria's here.
Hell yeah.
You mentioned it briefly, but you know nothing about it, so we could give you a little bit of a rundown.
Oh, good.
We talk about sports all the time, and I feel like there's a good amount of like listeners who like probably don't care. So this is now the flip side where you can like treat it as a sport, as a competition. We want to talk about The Bachelorette.
I'm intrigued. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I've never seen it before. Yeah, fill me in. How's it?
How are you feeling about this season?
How's it going?
You should start watching The Bachelorette, and here's why.
You would love it, actually.
Okay.
I have never
Really?
been an avid watcher of the Bachelor franchise until I moved in with my roommates, and they all watched The Bachelor. And my one roommate, Neve, have to give her a shout out. She is just the most knowledgeable person about the Bachelor franchise I've ever met. And they were watching Bachelor in Paradise when we moved in sophomore year, and I watched a little bit with them, and I would watch a little bit like here and there, and Neve started rewatching all the old seasons, so I would become acquainted. Just, like,
the jalapenos like are not even. Oh, that's why people listen. Like it's the crunch.
Oh my god.
The jalapenos like aren't even a facet of this episode. Like Maria cleared it in 10, and we're like, all right, let's move on. Like.
But
Oh my god, one just went straight down.
Oh my god. You're really struggling.
I was about. I'm just choking on jalapeno seeds. Carry on. Sorry.
So like I just started getting like really into it this year, and so now it's Katie's season.
I love Katie.
Katie
I
Thurston,
adore her.
she is great. She's so wonderful. This season is going really well. I really like all the guys. I don't know, like, at first I wasn't super attracted to all of them, but they all seem to be very, like, good-hearted, pure intention men. And the more I realize that, like, the more I am attracted to them.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna be honest, like, Michael, the dad, when I first saw him, I was like, get him out of here. But no.
He's a cutie. He's a cutie.
I'm like, Michael, and I love him. I adore him. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
I think this season also, like, I had never watched The Bachelorette. This is my first Bachelorette season. Because you and I.
Are you following it live right now?
Yeah, I go over to
Maria's.
Maria's.
Or is it okay?
I really like. Oh, Neve, by the way, is the one that won't let me watch Love Island. We talked about this in one episode.
Bro, okay, okay.
And since you and I really like Love Island, that's why I think you'll like it. 'Cause you're already attached to Love Island. I will say I think I still like Love Island better. I like the format a bit better. But I'd watched I think 2 seasons of The Bachelor. I watched like the most recent one, and I watched the one like a couple years ago. And I was like, I just think I'll like The Bachelor better. Like it's like the show. Like it came first. And I just like enjoyed the dynamic of it and like how like catty the house can get. And I was like, I feel like this is what I would like want. And I'm enjoying The Bachelorette so much more. I don't know if it's just this season, but like Matt James's Bachelor season was like kind of boring. Like all the girls were really like genuinely mean to each other. And the only saving grace, or like one of the only saving graces, was Katie, because she would like call girls on their shit. And now that she's the Bachelorette, like she still has this whole like no drama thing, with the added facet that she knows nothing of what's going on in the house. So it makes for some phenomenal drama.
And, like, as soon as she gets a hint that there is drama, like, most of it, so they always have, like, villains in the house who's, like, causing all the problems. And, sorry, I just, like, touched her leg.
How dare you?
I just also want to point out, Casey has, like, all these seeds on his, stuck in his...
I had no idea.
I've just, like, been
Thanks for pointing it out. I actually literally had no idea. I'm a very messy eater, actually.
Right,
Unbelievable.
right. No wonder you have fruit flies.
Yeah, that's true. I do have little gnats in my room, fruit flies in my room. Yeah, what was I going to say? I think there's food hidden somewhere in my room because I don't know why there's so many fruit flies.
Terrifying.
I know.
Terrifying.
Let's take care of that immediately.
I have to find it. I don't know where it is.
That's...
If it's here, I don't know what it is or where it is.
Katie Thurston would hate that.
Good. Very
she
good.
would. I'm definitely not mature enough for that woman. Absolutely not.
But she, like, so basically, the men will be like, hey, like, there is a, like, not a, they won't say, hey, there's a villain, but
Katie, there's a villain amongst us.
Villain.
One
of the men referred to one of the villains in the last episode as a cancer among them all, so that was
and
hysterical.
was that Trey or somebody else?
I think that was no. It was It was Aaron referring to...
Which one's Aaron?
He's the one who was getting into the beef with Cody.
Oh, right.
Aaron was referring to Thomas as the cancer in the house.
Oh, right. I remember Aaron. Aaron looks like a New England Patriots player.
Oh, wow.
What
Okay.
I was going to say is that usually, like, if a bachelorette knows that there is, like, someone causing problems in the house, in the rose ceremony, there will be this whole, like, oh my gosh, like, will she send them home? And then she won't, because she wants to give them, like, a second chance or whatever. But in this season, Katie is just so, like, she doesn't even care. She's like, you're part of the drama, you're out. Like, she doesn't even wait till the rose ceremony. She just sends them home.
It's so nice.
It's crazy.
And
So wait, but
the best part about it
is... And the men unionized.
That was fun.
they unionized against the...
Oh my god.
The really fun part about it is, like, one, like, it's just good that she's doing that, like, getting him out of the house. But it also makes the producers have to pick a new villain every week. Like, most of the time there's a villain that can, like, last at least 2 or 3 episodes.
No, they have to make a villain out of anyone.
But every week they got to pick a new one, and you're like, all right, who's it going to be this week? Who's the hero? Who's the villain? It's, like, a really fun exercise in, like, narrative storytelling.
But it's just so...
So if all the men are, like... if they're all good, like, because you said none of them were like, you said all of them were pretty wholesome, which I feel like
Yeah.
is like pretty uncommon. Because like in Love Island, there's definitely a shtick that like the men are garbage, but there's definitely like a brotherhood. Like they're all in it together.
They're all the lads.
But then they're all just like kind of they're the lads. It's the lads on tour. But like, how does the villain come through if like all of the men are actually like pretty good people, like pretty wholesome?
Majority of the men are like pretty wholesome. There was like
Okay.
They are emerging one by one, like the ones who are here for
they're showing their true colors.
the
Okay.
true colors. But
Gotcha.
what is like so funny is because all these men are so wholesome, the ones who are like here for the wrong reasons are just like popping up so easily they can't even hide because they're like
Gotcha.
very clearly not a part of the brotherhood. It's so funny.
Dang.
Like and the first villain tried to tell Katie that there were men in the house who were lying to her and who were there for the fame.
Oh, he was nuts.
But he wouldn't give her any names, so then Katie was really upset. And Katie pulled one of the dudes, Aaron, aside because she trusted him, and Aaron was like, "These are all really great guys. Like, I don't know what Carl's talking about. All these guys are amazing." And like, it's just so funny that he just was like hyping these dudes up.
I think the thing that I like underestimated about the Bachelorette is like the broness. Like they're all just like kind of like guys being dudes.
Yeah,
like
really
they're all
like,
there
well,
for her, but like they are kind of like vibing.
But like, what's the snitching policy? Because like, how are you gonna have one of the boys like kind of be an in and be like, hey, some of the guys like aren't as good?
The
but it's like
get stitches, they get ousted. Like they fully.
Okay, I was about to say.
So
I was like, if they're
least.
like, okay.
You gotta like really play your cards right if you want to go the snitching route. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing, because if there's a villain in the house, like, and you think it's heroic to go up to the Bachelorette and be like, this dude's causing problems, but then you just look just as dramatic, and she could easily just kick you out too. So it's hard.
Yeah, so
very political.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's very Lord of the Flies. It's like
good.
They're all like there's a brotherhood, but then they're also kind of like they're out to survive.
Yeah, they're
have
out for
to.
the same woman. Like
yeah.
So like I assume there's like some good friendships that are made out of it, but like you are all there for her. Like that's it.
True.
And so I think that's like it's like kind of fun. There's some good like little double crosses because of that.
Okay.
No, I think this season is also just like I think Katie is a much better protagonist than Matt James was, who was the Bachelor last season.
Matt James just
I heard
he hasn't been on the show. Like usually the Bachelor and Bachelorette are picked from people who have been on the show before as contestants.
Do you know why that happened?
I didn't know. So there's carryover?
I think because number one, I think it's fair because they've went through the whole process. So now like these people that they're bringing on to put through this whole process, they can empathize with them. But two, also because Neve taught me this, so I have to give credit to Neve. Like, the current season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette is not about The Bachelor or Bachelorette. It's about building a heroic arc for the next Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Which is so
America
fun.
can fall in love with them.
Yeah.
So you can easily tell who they are, like, pushing in the direction of The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Like, Katie, she was, like, they made her look very heroic. Everyone loved her because she was so funny. She, like, brought Matt James a dildo. And then was, like, yeah, and then she was, like, not, like, taking any shit in the house.
Yeah.
So she was just, like, a very positive energy. And then when she left, she had this whole, like, will I find love, like, thing. So they really want to make you fall in love with the person before they make them the Bachelor. So then you'll be hooked in and want to watch their season.
Yeah.
It's so genius.
I think the difference is that like I think I like Love Island better because it's like I think the co-ed aspect makes like for a little bit like there's more unique scenarios because of the fact that like they're all together. And I also think that Love Island moves at a mile a minute. Like Love Island like moves. Like every episode is like daily. So all the small interactions that happen are just like blown out of proportion. But what's nice is that like the flip side of that is The Bachelor is like you actually kind of get to know them, and like every episode is like a little calmer. Like you get moments like the highs are higher and the lows are lower because there's more of them. It's not
Okay.
constantly trying to stimulate you in the same way that Love Island is. So I think that that's kind of like a fun aspect. I also just like being a part of like the cultural moment. Like you get to like just like talk about it with people. I think
And the live tweets.
the live tweets are so fun.
The
So
live tweet.
funny.
I think we should say publicly on the pod who we're rooting for. I'm personally rooting for Trey. He came in, he drove a truck, and in the back of the truck,
Okay.
not he. Was there a reason why he drove a truck? Like, was there a pun or something?
I really don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think he's just like a homey, like very cuddly, like guy. And then at the like in the episode, they like went out to his truck like later on, and the back of his truck was filled with like it was like a ball pit.
So he hopped out of the ball pit, I think.
Oh, he hopped out of the ball
Whoa.
pit, and then they like played in the ball pit.
Oh my god.
But I do think I personally, all of the roommates and you disagree with me because, and I think that I'm probably wrong because like they know the show better than I do. But the second episode, like the whole episode, Katie like trauma bonded with this one other guy over like the fact that they
Oh,
both had dads that passed away.
Yeah, this dude, he is the clear front
Whoa.
runner.
And they were like they were like, I mean, sparks were a flying. Like they
Yeah.
were.
She does not, honestly, like, it doesn't. I was listening, there's this one podcast, Chatty Broads, and it's like a Bachelor-oriented podcast, and they were talking about, like, it doesn't matter any progress that Katie makes with the other guys because Greg, his name is Greg, has already lapped them.
Oh, like they were like.
Whoa.
Like the date
okay.
was like reminiscent, like because part of her thing is like her main thing first of all is like being sex positive, which is playing out in a better way than I expected because like the one season where like Bachelor was a virgin was just like intolerable. But this season like it's actually playing out in a pretty solid way. There was like a moment where there's this one guy who is like waiting till marriage, and we thought it was gonna go like really south when he like had to talk about it, and instead it went like a really pure route. So, but other than that, her other thing is that her dad passed away, and that's like something that she's still dealing with. And so they have a date that's like very much kind of reminiscent of her past and like what she did with her dad. So they go fishing, and like Greg comes along, and she's like opening up to him, and they're like having a good time. They're like goofing off while she's still being mature, and he's like listening really well. And then like they get to their like they always have like an after date kind of thing where they like go out to dinner, and he starts talking about, he's like, you opened up to me, so I want to open up to you. And so like he didn't interrupt her throughout the entire date, and then he opens up to her that his dad passed away, and they're like both crying at the dinner date after
like,
having this
hugging.
like having this like
my
really
God.
cutesy date, and then they're like fully just trauma bonding, and then they go outside and they watch fireworks and like make out in a blanket under like watching fireworks.
over.
And I was like,
It's over.
there is literally like there wasn't a single moment with
It's a
any
wrap.
of the women during Matt James's season that was like that. Like it was. I
Incredible.
was like, it's done. Like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
done.
way anybody could come back from
It's a
that.
wrap.
He is the clear
That's crazy.
front runner for sure. However, I don't know if I think he's gonna win.
This is what I'm hearing. This is the consensus.
I have
Is-
a feeling that shit is happening way too fast, and usually The Bachelor has a
Ooh.
history of like making you think it's one person, and then all of a sudden it's someone that like they weren't really airing like footage of
Right.
before.
Gotcha.
So I feel like, and also a lot of people on the internet aren't really sure if they trust Greg. I am smitten by him, but
I know. I really like him. I think he's
I
cute.
just feel like he, and I get where they're coming from. They're just like, this dude is too good to be true. Like he's gonna break her heart somehow. And they're like playing clips of someone possibly leaving, so we're thinking that it might be Greg. But
And then the most recent episode, what's the dad's name?
Michael
Michael
am
had a good
rooting
date.
for Michael now. Michael has a son, and he told Katie that he was, is it a widow if you're
Widower.
he's a widower. So his wife
Oh,
died,
wow.
and he was opening up about that to Katie, and he was just talking about it so beautifully about like his journey with her, about she was like the love of his life, and then she got diagnosed with cancer after she got diagnosed with cancer, and then I think died right after she had their kid, like 7 months after they had their kid or
Yeah,
something.
sure. Yeah.
Something really tragic.
Jeez.
But he was saying it in such a positive way. He literally said, like, how beautiful it is, or how lucky am I to get to fall in love twice.
I literally shed a
and
tear.
he
Like,
just like, and he
Whew.
literally was just so pure. And at that moment, I was really rooting for him. And Katie, she said to him before she gave him the rose, she said, "I know every weight." I think his son's name is James.
I
I'm
don't
just gonna
remember.
say James 'cause
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
She was like, "I know that every keeping you here is keeping you away from James. So every rose I give you, I'm also giving to James." And then gave him the rose.
Oh wow.
I know.
Oh man.
I
Oh
will
wow.
say that, like, because
Oh,
I know
man.
that you like reality television at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn it back
Sorry.
on. Technical difficulties. Maria turned the mic off. Was the whole monologue with it off, or did you just turn it off?
I think I just turned it
All right,
off.
okay, we're good.
There's just 10 minutes where Casey and I are vibing on the video, and Maria's saying something, but we don't know what.
Nodding our heads like, yeah.
We're like, yeah.
Like, uh-huh. We also can't hear it in the room. No, because I know that you like reality and like reality dating shows. This season of The Bachelorette, like, I have been like very pleasantly surprised. Like, the first
sick.
episode is usually one of the more exciting because you get to meet everybody, and I think so far it's been the least exciting. I think the 2 and 3, which
Okay.
according to
And
Neve
usually
are
2
the
and 3 is very boring.
worst. They've been like
Whoa.
great.
So, okay, my last question for selling me
All right.
on The Bachelorette here. So it has the emotional appeal, which is good. But like the thing that Love Island does so well is it's so over the top, gratuitous with just being like, we got a ton of beautiful people on this island and we're just going to make like a music video of them
Yeah.
every episode. It's like how like gratuitous is The Bachelorette with like each of their contestants? Like, do they have like workout montages?
So-
Are there like swimming montage? You know what I mean? Like that kind of
That
stuff
is
in The
more
Bachelorette?
So they have a summer like series of The Bachelor called Bachelor in Paradise, and that is where contestants from previous seasons who obviously didn't get picked are put on this island together, and it's kind of like Love Island where it's co-ed, and
Yeah.
I'd say that's where that element goes into play of just like them being hot
Okay.
as hell on the beach together,
Yeah.
like, doing
Yeah.
crazy shit, like, and just like getting drunk and working out and making out. So I'd say that's where you're gonna find more of that in Bachelor in Paradise. Like the dudes in, I feel like in The Bachelorette specifically, sometimes like they'll make fun of a guy by showing like workout montages of him, like if he's just like being way too over the top or something. But mostly I'd say it gets a little steamy when they're having their little makeout sessions.
Yeah. They'll like
Okay.
we've watched Katie make out with like probably 4 of the guys, 3 or 4, maybe 5.
Oh,
And like,
okay.
yeah, it's very passionate.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Damn.
Bachelorette and The Bachelor are not nearly as sexy as
Cameron's like,
Love Island.
does it have good soft porn?
Cameron's like, I'm trying to see titties and
now.
ass on my
Hey, now.
television.
Hey, Casey.
Hey, Cam.
You know what I love doing on this show?
Cam, what do you love doing on this show?
I love to take a look at what our friends and family are doing creatively these days.
So do I. And that's why this is our 3rd installment of our ongoing segment, Cam and Casey's Creative Corner, where we shout out what our friends are doing creatively. And on this episode, we have a little bit of a guest. Maria, who are we shouting out?
We are shouting out one of my best friends, Rita, who runs a little small business called By Rita.
So what does Byrita do?
By Rita is creativity for a cause. So Rita makes earrings, and every month she chooses a different nonprofit and donates a percentage of the sales of her earrings to said nonprofit. So right now she is donating to the People's Fridge in Philly, which like provides free food to anyone in Philly. Really great cause. And yeah, she's pretty great.
I actually did not know that she did it for like the little like for a nonprofit for a cause.
Yeah,
That's
so
fantastic.
She usually she will write articles because she's also a writer. So on her website, shopbyrita.com, you will also find articles that she writes about the nonprofits that she donates to.
That's fantastic. And her earrings are extremely cool. They are very sought after. They are very popular. Sometimes I wish I had pierced ears so that I could wear them.
Yeah, baby.
10 likes in case will pierce his ears.
20 consistent listeners by the end of the summer, and I'll pierce my ears. But that's our shout out.
Yeah,
Shop by
so
Rita.
Shopbyrita.com or byrita.shop on Instagram. Give her some love.
Give her some love. That's our shout out. Back to the show. Bachelorette is a lot less sexy than Love Island. It's much more about the romance, but they do have like challenges that will like promote how sexual they can. Like they will objectify the men in certain challenges.
For
Okay.
sure, yeah. Oh yeah, like oh my god, I'm so dumb. They just had them like mud fighting.
Yeah,
Like they had them shirtless fighting in
Very
mud.
nice.
So they definitely do have moments like that.
Good.
I'm just like I just literally, I don't know.
Good.
blacked
It's what it
out.
needs. It's what shows like that need. They need the little cherry on top.
For
Wait,
sure.
pause.
That's what it is. We almost made it through the whole episode without a technical difficulty.
Hey, stop. Shut up. Okay, yeah. Cool. So that's our Bachelorette talk. That was our new segment, Bachelorette with Maria. We may
Very
have
nice.
to have you come back on after the finale and we can like talk about it.
I'm so down.
So now we should get into what's hot for you this week.
Absolutely.
I think I started last week. So Cameron.
Yeah, I'll go
What's hot
first
for
this
you?
time. I'll go first this time, bro. I've been back into camping and the outdoors this last
yeah.
recently. So for a while, this requires a little bit of backstory. Basically, especially for Maria, because I don't know how much Casey has told you, but the day after I moved into UMD, my parents moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this was after we'd all lived in Maryland for 7 years. And so knowing that they were moving, there was like, I had like a mini storage unit here to like keep most of my stuff because it wasn't all going to fit in dorms, blah, blah, blah. And that's where all my camping gear was for 3 years. It was basically inaccessible because I don't have a car, but it was just tucked away somewhere. Basically, long story short, I like cut a bunch of stuff down and now it's all here. Like I finally have access to it. And so today, actually, hence the sunburn. I don't know how well you guys can see
I
it,
know,
but
it
like
looks
I'm
cute. I
cooked
think
on my nose and neck right
The
now.
sun kiss look I think is adorable. You look like you got a little blush
It's
on.
good. It's good that I'm seeing some sun
I want to
finally.
put you in overalls and kiss your forehead. But to be fair, I
Anyways,
always want to do that. To be fair, that is regardless of whether you have a little sunburn or not.
Moving right along.
Little toy hat, little bow.
Oh gosh. I went fishing with Will this morning. I haven't done anything like camping wise in forever. Oddly enough, you would have thought I would have done something with COVID. Like that was like the only thing to do for a while, but I just didn't have access to my stuff. So I've been looking forward to that all week.
Did y'all
we
catch
caught like
anything?
30 fish, dude. We caught a ton of fish this
Really?
morning.
30 fish?
Yeah, like there were
Whoa.
probably 5 or 6 of us. Yeah, there were 6 people total fishing, and we kept 30, but probably caught more like 60.
Oh my
I would say.
God. How
And they weren't
big?
big or
Yeah, okay,
anything.
okay.
They're just like small, like I think they're called spots.
You
They're
said
just kind
you
of like snack
kept
fish.
30?
We kept 30
So
of them.
those are,
and
you keep at least a little bit of substantial size.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, apparently like the ones that were substantial inside, you need like 10 of them to make a meal, I think is kind of the deal with these guys, because they're not that big and they're not that like meaty, so they're just like you can't get a lot per. But I was like, I've never really gone fishing before. I've done it a couple times like haphazardly,
Right.
but like never actually, and I definitely didn't expect to catch anything this morning. So it was just like, it was cool. We were just out on the bay chilling. Super good experience. I was looking forward to it for a while, and hoping I can get back outside at some point soon, now that I have all my camping stuff back. So
I haven't
catch
been
me outside
fishing
this summer.
I think I've only been fishing like 3 or 4 times, but I find it very relaxing. I think it's nice.
It's great.
My parents like love to fish. My mom grew up just like fishing with her dad all the time, and they had like a house on the bay in Cape May, New Jersey. So they would just like be fishing constantly.
That's really nice.
So I used to fish all the time when I was a kid, but yeah, I haven't since like I was probably in middle school.
I feel like it's like it's a nice thing where it's like It's one of those like nice hangouts where like you have an objective, but you can just kind of like chill. It's like, hey, let's go do this
Just
thing,
relax.
but like we can relax, and if like we want to get stressed at some point, like we can when like, if something something happens. But like I don't know, I think it's a good like it's just like a nice little kind of like hangout time,
Yeah,
like
for
chill
sure.
out
It's
time.
great.
Yeah,
That's
man.
really nice.
It was
sounds
Do you have any?
lovely.
Do you have
Yeah,
any
man.
any plans to go like camping? Camping? I think you should.
You know, this summer, not really, only because I'm pressed for time
Yeah.
all the
fair,
time.
fair.
But I hope like this fall I want to go back onto like the Appalachian Trail for sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
And I want to see if
Let's all go. Let's
I wanna
like
see if I can
meet
go
up.
back
We
to-
start at one point. You start at
yeah,
another point, and
easy.
we'll, like,
I'll meet you guys
in
in the yeah. Perfect. We would
Northern
still be in
Maryland.
Pennsylvania, I think.
Lower Pennsylvania, Northern Maryland.
Yeah. No, we totally should.
Mason-Dixon
But I
line.
want to see if Key's doing anything as well,
Right,
because I
right.
might be able to go back because I did that forever. But yeah, dude, I'm just trying to do more because like for the last 2.5 years, I haven't really done any of it. So
Yeah.
just anything, hiking, fishing, rock climbing. I want to get back into it.
And it's been nice
I
the
miss
past
it.
few days, which I've liked.
It's been really nice. Yeah,
Humid
it's
as
been gorgeous
hell,
out here.
though.
So
It's the humidity that gets you.
it is humid.
Oh my
That's what they say.
Have you seen that?
That's
have you
what
seen
they
that
say.
tweet?
Yeah.
It's not the heat. It's the humidity, and I
It's
have
the
to say
humidity.
it's true.
It is true.
Anybody who complains
What about you,
a dry
Casey?
heat,
Yes.
I literally just checked her name because I needed to okay, got it. I leaned over to check her name. My what's hot for you is this week is female singers with very low voices that sound like men.
Okay.
I've been vibing hard to this one song called "Tragic" by Jasmine Miller. It came out on Friday. It's like kind of like pop R&B that's just sort of like a little bit of jazz influence. I guess like things are sort of genreless at this point. But yeah, like a very kind of like raspy, lower soul type voice. And I thought it was a guy for the longest time who had like a little bit of a higher voice. Turns out it's not.
Mhm.
And it's just like it's so lovely. I have been really into it. And then today I was at work, and my coworker, we can like put on songs on Spotify like during our shift, which has been
Oh, nice.
which is very fun. I can put on whatever
That's
I want.
Crazy.
And so she put on this band called June Moon, song called Tiger specifically. So I haven't really listened to it much, but it's this like another like female lead singer who has like the Jasmine Miller, like when I found out it was a woman, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like I get that. This one literally like it doesn't make any sense to me. It is such a deep voice and it is amazing. It is so
I love that.
so good. So that's my what's hot for you is female singers with very deep voices. It's been a very fun ride the past few days.
Nice. I like it. I like the DV. I like how different it is. I feel like usually we're either both doing like media or it's like here's what like we're both listening to. I like that it's
Well,
I
it is
like
still
that.
media.
I like that it's like
because I think like New Music Friday was really good this week. Like we
Music
had,
Friday
like,
was super good.
Tyler,
yeah.
Logic.
I have to listen to the new Tyler.
I am not a big Tyler fan, to be completely honest. I think it's good. Doja. I think Doja's was better. I like Doja's better.
It slapped. Doja's album
Doja's
was
was
really good.
really
Logic's was
good.
okay.
Logic, I mean,
but Doja's was really good.
Yeah, Logic's is always okay. He has 3 great albums, and then that's it.
He should have stayed
He
retired.
should stay retired. He had a
That's
good
all I'm
retirement
saying. That's
album.
all I'm
It's a
saying.
good album. Most
Could've
listened
ended
to
on a high
artists
note.
last year. Dude, it was
Unbelievable.
literally like my top 5 were JID, Phoebe Bridgers, Carly Rae Jepsen, Joji, and then Logic was number 1. Like it was like 4 really good artists and then Logic. But I was like really happy to because but they were all artists that I really like. Like Doja, Logic. There was a few singles. Duckworth and Jaden both had singles. And
yeah.
so
DaBaby released a new Sea Shanty.
Oh, DaBaby's was good though. I liked
It was
it.
fire.
DaBaby.
It was really good. Yeah.
But then this one like takes the cake, and I'd never heard of this person, and like it is so tragic. That's my big one. And then if you want to try June Moon too, so yeah,
Nice.
Definitely will be
Hell yeah.
listening.
yeah, we'll listen to it after this.
Okay.
When you walked in, it was the song that was playing.
If this was Came
love-
Across the Country, it would be playing right now, copyright or not.
I know. If this was our other music-based pod, check out Cam and Casey.
Check out Cam and Casey Across the
honestly,
Country.
don't. Like at this point, I don't want people to listen to this. Like we've moved on.
Yeah,
What is
it was a good one.
what is hot for you, Maria?
All right. fasten your seatbelts,
All
boys.
right.
Because my what's hot for you is pole dancing.
Yeah.
Whoa. No.
I told
You
to
idiot.
fasten your seatbelts. So, I this summer have like been falling in love with like pole fitness. It's this new little journey I've been going on. Full disclosure, I am so bad at it still. Like I am
It's
not.
it looks
that
hard.
shit
It looks
is
so
That's
hard.
like too much core, bro.
hard. It is so hard. Like it works your whole body, and just like the bruises. I don't have any right now because I'm taking a little like hiatus while I start my new job. But the bruises that I would leave class, like
Yeah.
the bruises that would
I
be on
saw
my
them. They
legs
were
when I leave
welts.
class, like it would be crazy all down my
Yo.
legs. But like I have never in my life like been excited to go to the gym before.
Yeah.
But it's just this gym of like just all different types of people. I very much like honestly like thought it was going to be stereotypical like all women and like really like skinny and like
Right.
really just like hot like 20-year-old women.
All J
And, like,
Lo's.
My pole instructor was a mom.
Nice.
And
Good.
like just like a mom and like in her like probably I want to say 40s, and she's just like a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And one of the other pole instructors is non-binary, also a parent. Like it was really eye-opening to like the culture around pole dancing and like how it's just like not what anyone thinks it is.
That's awesome. I mean, like, I feel like you're like
That's
very
sick.
into it, which I have
I
been like super excited to
Love
see.
it. And like I am like going through a breakup and I'm graduating and all these changes are happening, and it's just has like been such a fun little adventure I've been going on. So shout out pole dance.
I think it's so important to
Nice.
find a fitness activity that you genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
Cam is big on fitness.
Could have a whole episode
We
on
had
this.
also, I want to see if would it work. Cam and I have this theory that the best way to create a band name is to pick like what your workout is and what day you do it. So like Karate
Mhm.
Mondays was mine.
Pole dance Monday.
Pole Dance Monday.
That's a good band.
Pole
I
Dance
think Pole
Monday.
Dance Monday, like I feel like it needs to be a little shorter, like Pole Mondays, but I feel like that's weird.
Pole dance. Pole dance is
Pole
it's only 2
dance
syllables, but it seems so much longer.
Tuesday.
Pole.
Monday pole dances, I feel like works better.
Pole
in
on
that
Monday.
Monday
pole on
pole
Monday.
dance.
Pole on Monday sounds good.
Pole on Monday.
I like that one. That one's good. Pole on Monday.
Nice.
That's a good theory.
This is the
This has been.
3rd episode in a row we've talked about fitness, so catch a fitness episode
We'll have
dropping
we
soon.
should have a fitness episode But yeah, thank you for being on the podcast. You killed the jalapeno. You've topped
Absolutely.
the 2 of us.
Good lord.
So what am I winning?
You're the Greg.
Or
You've
what-
lapped us.
What is your punishment?
Yeah. What is our punishment for our next episode? I mean, if you can think of anything, what do you got?
I mean, this is your
Honestly,
one.
wanna
You have like a
pie
few
you.
minutes left to decide something.
you want to pie me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll come over to the Bachelorette and you can pie me.
Okay, I love it.
I'll get pied and then we gotta
Fantastic.
figure out something for Cameron. We'll
Alright.
film the pie. We'll put it on like
I'll
our
have to do
YouTube
something.
channel.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you
Fantastic.
for being on the pod. I love you.
Boys.
Thank you. This was fun. Thank you.
Um,
Um,